Welcome everybody to this new video. Today we are going to look at the further topics. Since we were studying about the cross-sectional elements, we are here looking at the third of it, that is width of the pavement or carriageway. See, the width of pavement depends upon the width of traffic lane and total number of lanes. Portion of road intended for one line of vehicles is known as traffic lane. This is to be noted. One line of vehicles, as in if the road is going on this side and a stream of vehicles is going to this side, so this should be called one lane. If the same road, two vehicles can pass following each other, this is known as two-lane road, right? This needs to be noted down. Next, width of carriageway is equal to the width of vehicle and some clearance on the both sides. I have shown in the diagram below. I'll show that one also. So, number of lanes to be provided depends upon the traffic volume. If the traffic volume is high, the number of lanes provided would be more, and if the traffic volume is less, the number of lanes would be less. So, different types of roads have different carriage widths. For a single lane road, we have 3.75 width. For two lane without raised curbs, it is 7 meter. For two lane with raised curbs, it is 7.5, and without raised curbs, it is 7 meter. For intermediate carriageway, the width is 5.5 meter. For multi-lane carriageway, it is 3.5 meter per lane. So let's have a look how it looks on the road. This with the yellow color I have shown the vehicle. It is having a width of 2.5 meter. Here also I have mentioned that the width of the vehicle that we are observing is 2.44 meter. It is approximately taken equal to 2.5 meter, and a clearance of 0.625 meters is taken on both sides, and both is added up. The total comes out to be 3.75 meter. Next, in a multi-lane road, here the road is from one side to other, right? Here also the vehicle width is 2.5 meter and the clearance taken on for this is 0.5 meter. The total come out to be 3.5 meter. So multi-lane roads have 3.5 meter per lane carriage width, right? Next, we look at medians or traffic separators. Medians are basically provided to separate the traffic moving in the opposite direction. The main focus of median is to avoid head-on collision of vehicles coming from opposite directions, right? So for divided carriageways, a median is provided between two opposite moving traffic streams. It avoids head-on collision between vehicles moving in the opposite direction. Next, its functions are also listed. It is to channelize the traffic in different streams. It is resting place for pedestrians whenever the road is moving and the pedestrian need to cross the road. They can rest on these resting islands. That will also be discussed later on. Arboriculture is one term that we need to study, or we need to remember that arboriculture is ARBORICULTURE. Arboriculture is planting of shrubs or herbs or maybe trees to improve the aesthetic beauty of an area, right? So it is provided on the median to prevent glare on the vehicle due to headlight of the vehicle coming from opposite direction. So median arboriculture is done on medians as well, right? The other function is to segregate the slow moving traffic. If there are different streams or different speeds of vehicle are traveling on the road, we need to separate them. Then also medians are used. Here diagrammatically it has been shown. The curbs are on this side and this is representing the pavement. Let me color it with a different color so that it is obvious. This has been colored in yellow. The pavement has been colored in yellow. This is the median that we are talking about. This is the cross-sectional view and the other one is top view. In the top view it is visible that there are two lanes on both the sides and median is provided in between the lanes to separate the traffic moving in the opposite direction, right? Next is the width of the median is limited to 8 to 14 meter of the width of the road. So IRC recommends a minimum width of 5 meter for median, which may be reduced to 3 meter where land is restricted. In general cases, it is seen that 8 to 14 meter is not possible. So IRC has recommended a minimum of 5 meter of median has to be provided in national as well as state highways. But it can be limited to 3 meters whenever the land is not available in the vicinity, or the land acquisition is difficult, or due to some topographical restrictions there are cases when median of 5 meter is not possible, then we'll provide a 3 meter median. On bridges, the width of median is limited to 1.2 to 1.5 meter, right? Whenever a width of continuous median needs to be reduced, a transition of 1 in 15 or 1 in 20 is needed. There are some cases when the width of the median was 5 meter and it is now reduced to further moving on the road, it is reduced to 3 meter. Then it cannot be abruptly reduced to 3 meter. A gentle gradient of 1 in 15 or 1 in 20 has to be provided. Next, a width of median in urban area. It should be 1.2 meter and the desirable width is 1.5 meter. For expressways, the width of median is 12 meter and the desirable width is 15.5 meter. Next, curbs are there. Boundary between pavement and median or footpath. The curbs are basically here also in this diagram we are observing that curbs are provided on the side of the pavement. This is to accommodate for footpaths or cycle tracks, etc. On this side we can provide the footpaths and cycle tracks. For that the curbs is acting as a separator. So it is of 3 types. One is low curb, next is semi barrier type, and next is barrier type curb. So let's have a look at low curb. The height of the low curb is 100 mm. The slope is such that the vehicle can climb on it. It is also called as mountable curb and can be climbed in slow speed. That means whenever the vehicle is traveling at a slow pace or the speed is less, it is possible to climb on the curb in emergency situations, and it can also be used as a resting place for the vehicles. Next, semi barrier type curbs. It is provided when pedestrian traffic is high and the height of curb is 150 mm above the pavement. Here the pavement is on this side and the curb is having a height of 150 mm above that, right? So slope of edge should be 1:1 and on the top it should be 75 mm. This should be 75 mm and this slope needs to be 1:1, which is also known as 1 vertical to 1 horizontal, right? Next is the barrier type of curb. It is provided in built up area adjacent to the footpath with significant pedestrian traffic. Height is 20 cm or 200 mm above the pavement edge of steep slope of 1 vertical to 0.25 horizontal. This here is also the pavement is on the bottom of it and the height is 200 mm and it is very difficult to climb on it, and that is why it is known as barrier type of curb. When the traffic is very high or cycle tracks are present as adjacent to the roads, it is not feasible or it is not safe to allow the vehicles to climb on the curb, and hence barrier type of curb is provided. Next these were the curbs, right? Earlier was the medians and there was width of the pavement. So now we are coming to the shoulder. Shoulder is that portion of the road where the width of the pavement stops or it is used, the shoulder is provided on the sides of the road. On the both cases, when there is divided carriageway, this is the median, right? On an undivided carriageway, it is provided on the sides, both of the sides, and when there is a median present, it is provided on the outer edge of the both of the lanes. So let's look at what it is saying. Shoulders are provided on both sides for undivided carriageway and on outer edge for divided carriageway, that we have seen here. It is used as a resting place of vehicles in case of an emergency. Whenever there is some disruption in the vehicle or there is some fault in the vehicle, we need to stop the vehicle. If shoulder is not provided, it is impossible for the vehicle to stop midstream, because that will lead to accidents and possibly reduce the or stop the flow of traffic. That is not recommended, and hence shoulders are provided for resting of the vehicles. Next is minimum shoulder width should be 2.5 meter. Functions of shoulders are such that structural stability to the pavement. It provides structural stability to the pavement. Since if this is an embankment pavement, if shoulders are not provided, we'll abruptly have to end the pavement here, and the lateral stability would be less, right? So for that, the shoulders are provided and they provide lateral stability to the pavement. It increases the capacity and operating speed of the pavement. In case of an emergency, it is possible to use the shoulder as another lane, and whenever there is some traffic obstruction or traffic jam in the road, shoulders can be used as a secondary travel path. In emergency, it can be used as a parking spot as well. For disabled vehicles, it acts as a service lane. First, the surface of the shoulder is rougher to discourage the regular vehicle movement. The surface is kept rougher just for the reason that vehicles are discouraged to use it, and it is used only in the emergency cases. It should have a different color than the pavement color. This is to differentiate the shoulder, and to make the differentiation so that this has not to be travelled in regular cases. Next is road margins. So road margins are shown in this figure. Here this is curb, this is tree, or as we call it, arboriculture. This is the 3-lane one-way movement road. This is reserve space. Here these all would be also be on the opposite side. This is only have been shown on the right side of the pavement. So the movement carriageway is 10.5 meter. The footpath that has been provided for the movement of pedestrian is 3 meter. The cycle track that has been provided is 3.8 meter, and the reserve space is for future developments or for expansion of the roads. Next, road margins. It is provided, this is not road margins, it would be guardrails. Let me correct it for you. Guardrails are provided at the edge of the shoulder when the road is constructed on a fill, so that the vehicles are prevented from running off the pavement on embankment that is greater than 3 meters. So here also I have depicted a picture where you can see whenever the road is constructed on a slope, here the guardrails will be provided. The guardrails have not been shown in the figure. It is to discourage the vehicles from going off the pavement in case of an accident or in case of an disruption on the traffic. Whenever an accident occurs or the brake fails, it is the guardrails are to ensure that the vehicle does not travel down the hill. Next is footpath. It is provided in the urban areas for facilitating movement of the pedestrians. Here also it has been shown. Minimum width is 1.5 meter and desirable width is 2 meter. Surface is smooth than the road or carriageway. Cross slope is 2.5 to 3%. Footpath, the cross slope on footpath or cycle track is kept to be 2.5 to 3%. This is to ensure that the water accumulating on the footpath is not getting penetrated into the pavement subsurface. Next, driveways or service lanes. This is for the vehicles plying on the road. These lanes provide access to the local commercial establishments such as restaurant, petrol pumps or other commercial establishment where the vehicle needs to go. This acts as a service lane. Next is cycle track. It is provided in the urban areas for safe movement of cycle traffic. Wherever the cycle traffic is more, or bicycle or you can say slow moving traffic is more, cycle tracks are provided to make sure that they are segregated from the fast moving or fast paced vehicles, and hence they are safe. The minimum width to be provided for a cycle track is 2 meter, and it can be increased by 1 meter per cycle track. If a cycle track is like this and we need to accommodate one more cycle movement of one more cycle, it could be increased by 1 meter. This would be 2 meter, and if we need to increase it, it needs to be 1 meter. Next is parking lanes. These are lanes for providing curb parking. Only parallel parking for safety and minimum width of road is consumed. Parking lanes are provided on the sides of the road, and only parallel parking is allowed so that the movement of vehicle is safe and the width of road consumed is very less. So it is to ensure that. Next is bus bays. Safe loading and unloading of passengers of commercial vehicles, or maybe when public transport is being used and it needs to unload and load the passengers, it is to ensure that bus bays are provided where the unloading and loading of the passengers can happen. Next is laybys. It is provided at public conveniences to avoid conflict with the traffic stream. It is for the basically for the commercial vehicles moving. They need to access the conveniences such as washrooms or petrol pumps or food eateries or restaurants. So it is provided on sides to avoid the conflict with the traffic stream. The minimum width is 3 meter. Next is road lane or lane width or right of way. It is the area of road along the horizontal alignment to account for the future expansion of the road. Here some area was depicted as the reserve space, and that reserve space is nothing but the area of road that is reserved for future expansion of the roads. Next, construction is permitted only after setback distance from road or control line is used. Fine. So these were the topics that we covered in cross-sectional elements. Next we'll study about the design of horizontal alignment, and that would be covered in the next video. So make sure you like, comment. If you like the video, then only please like, and if you need to comment about any topic that you need to understand or need to study from me, you can comment the name of the topic. I'll surely be sharing the video on that. I'll try to make a video. I'll try to find different ideas of different people, and then only I'll be sharing it. And next, please, I request you to subscribe. That is very important for future videos, and so that I am more encouraged to make more videos and bring you such type of content. Thank you. Have a good day.